This 2026 NASCAR Win Totals Picks Part 2 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And Cody, the calendar just keeps clicking closer and closer and closer. We're this much away now from the clash at the Coliseum and the start of the season.
This is it. This is the last week of the offseason, Rod. I mean, next week we will have a pick show for a race that will be taking place next week. Like it's here, baby. It's race time. Oh, so excited, so ready. It's been a long, grueling off season, but we've just about made it to the end.
Doesn't seem like that long ago when we were saying to ourselves, the champion's crowned, and now we got to sit and wait for these long winter cold months for this all to happen, and then we can get to it. But I mean, like you said, we're here now, and there's several things to talk about as we close the book on the 2025 off season and head into the 2026 season. Lots and lots of news to get to, but before we get to any of that, I want to tell you that it is time for the new year, new gear, my friends. That is correct. Their SGPN merch store has a bunch of new items for the new year, and right now you can get 10% off of everything with the promo code with the promo code 2026. You want to talk about how quickly you forget. The promo code 2026. Make sure you get all that Racing Gambling Podcast stuff. I'm telling you right now, I switch in between using my Racing Gambling Podcast coffee mug every morning and my SGPN coffee mug every morning. I don't think I ever drink out of anything that is not SGPN branded. So make sure you get yours or a hoodie or a sweater, whatever you want. Just make sure you use that promo code 2026 so you can get 10% off. Well, Cody, like we said, huge news days coming into the Clash and Daytona 500.
That's how you know the season is here, because news just starts like populating like crazy. Today was just like a big news dump. It was like they got through the holiday yesterday, right? Everybody had off, and then it was like, okay, get to work today, and boom, it's just news. They're hitting us hard. So, that's how you know that it is officially race season.
I don't know where you want to start, but I know that there's some Truck Series news.
You know where I want to start, Rod. You know where I want to start. We're fucking back. That's right. Corey Lajoie, baby. He's going to be driving in the Daytona 500, but he's not just going to be driving in the Daytona 500, Rod. No, he's going to be driving in the Daytona 500 in an RFK Ford. These cars are so good at super speedways. He's going to have to make the race, which is going to be a tall task for sure this year. But Corey Lajoie is officially entered, as we know, if you're catching up on all the news. And I've seen the people are starting to trickle back into the Discord, trickle back into the to the listens and the views. We see you guys, so we appreciate you. We've been here all off season, so there's a lot to go back and catch up on if you want to go back and catch up on all that. But we do know Corey is going to be filling in at the Clash next weekend for Brad Keselowski in the 6 car. Brad, if you missed that news, broke his leg in the offseason skiing. So he's supposed to be back for the 500. That looks like it's on track, and he should be good to go. But Corey's going to fill in the 6 car at the Clash, but now they're going to extend that. He's going to be in the 99 car for RFK. That's a traditionally Roush number. 99 was with Jeff Burton back in the day, and then into Carl Edwards for a long time. That was their number for a long time. Suarez obviously drove it recently, but with Spire or Trackhouse's realignment of their numbers, nobody's in the 99 anymore. So Lajoie will be entered into the 500 in that. So great to see him get another opportunity, and great to see him in the best car he's ever had a chance in. So he'll have to race his way in. And part of that, Rod, is we've learned that the new rule, and apparently this has been out there, but I hadn't seen it previously. The new rule for this year is if you take the open provisional, you have to use the open provisional. So Jimmy Johnson is not going to attempt to make the race. He is he's going to still qualify and everything, but he's locked in. He will be the 41st car. So we will have 41 cars starting the race. So it's going to be the 40 or the 36 charter cars, 4 of these open other cars, and Jimmy Johnson in addition to that. So it won't be like Castroneves last year where if you race in, it's 40. If you don't race in, it's 41. Jimmy's locked in as the 41st car. He won't be eligible for prize money. So he's just there for show, basically, but that's the way to get him locked in. So Corey will be part of that group of drivers, racing to get in for those.
So whatever budget Cody has set aside for the 2026 NASCAR season, forget about it. It's all going to go on Corey Lajoie to win this race, to secure the championship in the first race of the season, and essentially lock himself into the non-existent playoff format that used to be back in the day. So guys, just beware. Corey Lajoie is going to be all over the betting card come next week.
I can guarantee you that Corey Lajoie, I will be betting him to win, but I think I've settled on a different car lift, Rod. It's a new year. We're flipping the Dente over, and let's just stay tuned for the pick show. But Corey might not be the car lift. We'll see what the numbers shake out to be.
I may have to find you a new co-host for that because I don't know that I can stomach what's to come.
It's the year of the Dente, Rod. I'm telling you right now. There's going to be a lot of. We're going to be riding the Dente a lot. Chili's might want to get on board for a partnership now. So
I think I might just send you. I might send you a jar of chili peppers.
I should contact the local Chili's and see if I can do a live broadcast from Chili's.
Oh my God!
Talk about the Dente.
If you do that, I will do that.
I'll just be sipping on a Dente. That's what we need to do is get a Chili's partnership. You go live from your local Chili's. I'll go live from my local Chili's. We'll be riding the Dente while we're giving out Daytona 500 picks. All right. Hit us up, Chili's.
Okay. Hit us up, Chili's. I would love that. All right. Let's continue down this busy news day. Truck Series news. There will be a driver of the I'm sorry, not Truck Series. Well, that too. But actually, where do you want to go next, Cody?
Which part is the Truck Series news you want to get to? Is it Travis? Whoa, he left. Rod, where'd you go? Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll be back. Maybe this is the Truck Series news Rod was talking about. Travis Pastrana is going to race the Daytona truck race. For Nice Motorsports, he'll be in the 42 truck. Brunt Workwear is going to be the sponsorship on that car, or truck, rather. So Pastrana finished, like 11th in the Daytona 500 a couple of years ago when he did run in the Cup Series. So good to see him come back, make another attempt. He was in the Crown Vic deal the other day with Cletus McFarland was doing the Crown Vics at Daytona. Travis was part of that. So good to see him there. Welcome back, Rod. Was that part of was that the truck news you were looking at?
That was exactly the truck news I was looking at. So thank you for covering that for me. Yeah, I think Chili's was trying to hit me up, and that's what kind of broke the connection. So thanks, Chili's.
I was quick. I mean, at least they're on their ball. That's good.
I was like, I'll get back to you after the show, but I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a live show here. I can't take the call.
That's funny. Another Daytona 500 entry. Fast Pasta. He's back, Rod. The Dude Wipe 62 car will be back. Anthony Alfredo running. He's going to attempt again to run in that Beard Motorsports entry, the 62 car. Obviously, he's been a guy that if he makes the race, he's always seems to have a good chance. So good to see that for him. And then Bob Pockrass, by the way, said Rick Ware Racing spokesman told him they won't field a second car. Obviously, with Corey going with Roush, RFK, that would have probably been the one they would have anyways. And they've fielded a second car, obviously, when they had a charter previously, but they don't anymore. So, and RCR has indicated unlikely to have a fourth car for Daytona, but a third car sounds like obviously they've only got 2 full-time cars. So the third car we assume is coming soon. We've not heard whether that might be Jesse Love, whether that might be Austin Hill or somebody else, but unlikely to have both of those guys running, I guess.
Yeah, and again, these are all just the periphery cars that will be out there on the Daytona 500. A lot of them just kind of being out there to take up some space and to get some sponsor money and to kind of build up the bankroll the rest of the season.
Hey, all these guys are alive. I mean, especially Alfredo and Lajoie, if they make the race, very excited to bet on them. So currently, according to Bob, 7 cars expected or confirmed to vie for the 4 spots. Allgaier in the 40 for JRM, Yaley in the 44 for New York Racing, Alfredo in the 62, Casey Mears in the 66, Corey Heim in the 67, BJ McLeod in the 78, and Corey Lajoie in the 99. But possibly more entries coming as well.
Well, there usually are at this point. But the big announcement that I think is really exciting is the one we just saw earlier today, where the 88 car has been announced the O'Reilly series is going to be populated all season long. As we know, Rajah Caruth is going to be driving that part-time, but Cody, they're going to just wheel in a ton of talent in that 88 car over the course of the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're filling that one out very nicely. So he's going to run the 88 car in the final 11 races of the year and in 23 total events. So he'll start the year, the first 3 races, the final 11, and then kind of filling in the gaps. So run the rest of the races. Was it the 32 with Jordan Anderson? I don't remember the number exactly, but in one of the Jordan Anderson cars. So he'll compete full-time for the championship, but it'll be split between multiple cars. When he is not in the car, though, all-star lineup, you might have heard of some of these guys. Kyle Larson, he'll be racing at Las Vegas, Bristol, and Texas. William Byron, Phoenix, Kansas, and Pocono. Alex Bowman, Darlington and Nashville, and Chase Elliott at Chicagoland and Indy. So obviously the 4 full-time Hendrick cars, that is going to be the 88 HendrickCars.com. And I believe that is going to be the HendrickCars.com car all year long. So that's how they're going to fill that one out. So, you look at this and we kind of thought, it sucks for Rajah. He's not getting a full season in the JRM car. But when he's not in the car, he's going to have 4 Cup Series guys that are all pretty damn good tweaking on that car for him. We saw how that worked out for Zilich in the 88 last year. He leaves for a race and Larson gets in, and suddenly the car looks a lot different. Might not be a bad deal for Rajah. I'll let you guys tune on this a little bit and give it back to me next week. Huh?
Tell you what, though, we already talked about it, too, when we were talking about the O'Reilly Series car changes, as him being kind of one to watch, especially in that JRM 88. And who knows, maybe he takes those notes and he brings it over to his Jordan Anderson machine. We don't think he'll be as competitive in those cars as he is in JRM equipment, obviously for obvious reasons, as far as the sizable gap in funding between the two. However, I mean, look, sometimes these guys, when they go into the lesser equipment, they can still remember what driving that faster equipment is like and try to get the most out of it. And you know what? Maybe this helps Jordan Anderson in the long run too, having Rajah Caruth kind of splitting his time between the Hendrick Motorsports stable, right? I mean, think of all the guys that he's got to learn from in that. Like you said, with Zilich, it was the same thing. Like he had all these all-stars okay, well, this car needs this a little bit. This car needs that a little bit. Little input on what the car needs. And then he's going to make the championship run in it. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, I think that'll help him out definitely a ton. And we'll have to see how the books react and respond to things. It could go one of 2 ways. If they just play Rajah every week or list him as if he's driving the 88 car, we might get some opportunities to kind of bet against him. He'll be matched up with some people maybe he shouldn't be when he's not in the 88. Or if they don't, if they do price him appropriately for what car he's in, you might get good opportunities to jump on him at a bigger number in the Jordan Anderson car for a top 10, top 5 if the upside's there. that type of thing. So that'll definitely be, we always go through the entry list every week, and even more so in the O'Reilly series this year, that will be a big deal because of the quad pole. Yeah, because quad pole. Well, I don't know what quad pole's deal is now, because originally he was supposed to split time between the 1 and the 88, but maybe they've changed that. Maybe he's just going to be in the 1 now, because I don't see him listed on this, obviously. So we'll have to see where that ends up lining up. But with the Caruth part, it'll definitely come into play.
I hope he just stays in the 1. It just makes it easier for us to not have to pay attention every week as whether or not he's in there. So, all right. I'm sure there's tons of other news. We can get to all of that tomorrow. We've got stuff to talk about today, Cody. Right now, we've got stuff that we need to discuss, and we will do all of that. But let me tell you about our friends over at Avo. Make more money betting sports with Avo. That's AVO. Avo is the best sports betting tool that helps you make a profit every time you decide to place bets. They do this by spotting arbitrage and plus EV opportunities for you to faster, or they do it for you faster than the competition, and they keep you organized in one place. If you're new to arbitrage betting, you're finding opportunities in the market where you can bet both sides to lock in a profit. Not just that, they've got a really clean dashboard. In fact, it is the cleanest dashboard. It's super easy to understand and to use. And I'll tell you right now, I've logged in, I've messed around with it a little bit. I'm about to start tracking my bets for the show. And if I can use it, you can use it. But they also teach you how to use it with step-by-step video guides in case you have any question. Just sign up, pick the sports book you use, and let Avo tell you how much to bet to guarantee a profit. Are you still unsure? I don't know how you can be, but if you are, check out their free Discord at AVO Official. That's AVO Official, and see the success people are having for themselves. Get started at avo.bet. Use promo code SGPN for $18 off. That's avo.bet. Promo code SGPN for $18 off. Excited to tell you about our friends over at Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. That means in all 50 states, you can trade tons of markets, including the NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and of course, so much more. Plus, you can even trade props like first TDs. Besides sports, they got a ton of other markets, including politics, entertainment. Hell, you can even bet or trade on the weather. With Kalshi, you can trade on anything. I'm looking right now at the Stanley Cup Championships, right? They're giving you an opportunity to trade on whether the Colorado Avalanche are going to win the Stanley Cup. And I'm telling you right now, the Avalanche sitting at 34-5 and 8 on the year with 76 points, a whopping 11 points ahead of the Minnesota Wild. 24 cents on the yes for this. That means a $100 investment is going to give you a $417 payout. Oh my God. Yes, please hook me up on that. Colorado Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup. I love the way that sounds. I love that it'll make you money. And new Kalshi customers can get $20 when you use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Colorado stomping everybody this season. It's not even close. That's how much I love my Avalanche.
Well, as long as their football team loses this weekend, I'll be happy, Rod.
Well, that's true, because you're the Pats fan. You want the Broncos to lose.
I would like the Broncos to lose because they're playing my team.
Well, I tell you right now, they've got a pretty good shot at advancing, because they are playing, what is it? Not Joe Flacco, but who came in?
Jarrett Stidham,
Nick
former
Foles of the world.
Yes, former Patriot quarterback Jarrett Stidham. By the way, Tom Brady's backup at once upon a time.
That's true. All right, let's check in real quick and say hello to TK. He said, my book has Austin Hill listed as a Daytona 500 option already. Maybe they know, or maybe they're just hedging and making sure that is. But yeah, JDK checking in, saying a little late to the party. Afternoon, fellas. Hi, JDK.
Well, you missed the news part, so you want to go back and listen to that. But you're just in time for us to start digging into the second half of the win totals. By the way, if you haven't, go back and listen on, what day was that? Wednesday last week?
Wednesday,
yeah, I think we were a day ahead. Wednesday last week, we did part 1 of this. So we talked about first 10 drivers on the slate. I think we have 10 more to talk about today, Rod.
We do. And so here's what's crazy. We left off with William Byron, and this week the books kind of flipped this to where they put Carson Hocevar over William Byron, because we were going to start off the show, this show, with Carson Hocevar. However, they kind of threw me for a loop.
It's listed by odds, and somebody might have shifted where these odds went down a little bit.
Guys, you need to stop shifting these odds for this guy. All right, let's talk about him then. Let's talk right out of the box. Carson Hocevar, a win total of over or under a half of a win on the season. The over at plus 100. The under is heavily not favored in the right direction at minus 130. This should be like minus 600 on the under, half of a win. You know how I feel about this.
We're gonna do this all year. You're gonna hate him all year again, Rod.
I think I started to let go because I didn't want to turn to the dark side, because hate leads to fear leads whatever the progression. I wanted to break the cycle. However, this dude just gets me. He just gets my blood pressure up. So you talk about
He gets my blood pressure up too, Rod. I'll tell you that.
Fix my chair. You talk about him.
Yes. So I love this. I love the over on Carson Hocevar. This is my guy this year. So buckle up. Hope you all are ready for it, because I'm going to be talking a lot about Carson Hocevar. I guess he's my new Corey Lajoie, but more talented and in a better ride. So, which is funny because they raced for the same team for a lot of times, but it's in a better situation now, right? So, anyways, I love Carson Hocevar. I think he's going to get his first career win here this coming year. You go back and you look at what he's done in his first 2 seasons. Pretty impressive rookie season, right? Kind of getting the hang of things. Ruffled some feathers along the way. We've seen it before. Comes in and does the deal. Last year, though, very much improved. He had a really strong year. Ends up with 9 top 10 finishes, 2 top 5s at the end of the day. Had a solid season. The second race of the year, he almost won at Atlanta. They were coming around turn 4, last lap. He's got the momentum. He's going to win the race. And like they always do, an untimely, I don't even remember what the situation was, but it was a situation where they didn't need to throw the yellow yet. You could have let him race it back to the line. They didn't. They threw the yellow. Christopher Bell gets the win instead, robbing Carson Hocevar, but that's okay, because now we just get to save his first career win for this year. But then, you move on throughout the season. So I always say I don't like to use a super speedway win as a way to bet the over, right? You don't want to be like, oh, he's probably going to win a super speedway, because there's only 6 of them. They are so unpredictable. But I will say he's going to be in the mix. I tell you right now, I've already bet him to win the Daytona 500. I have a big parlay, Rod, by the way, of the Patriots to win the Super Bowl and Hocevar to win the 500 that I placed before the playoffs start. Was that? I think it was before the playoffs started. It was week 18. So that will be a very nice Daytona 500 Sunday if that cashes, after the Patriots won the Super Bowl, of course. But he's been very good at all of the super speedway races. 6th place at Talladega, some other good runs. But then it's not just at tracks like that where he was running good. Remember, just an Aspire car, and yet he found speed, yet he was able to be competitive. You go to tracks like Nashville where he runs 2nd place to Ryan Blaney, has a fast car throughout the day, running up front kind of throughout the entire thing. Places like Indy where he finishes 10th place, Iowa where he gets an 8th place finish, a 9th place finish in the Southern 500, a long, grueling race, a 7th place finish at Bristol. Talladega, he finishes 6th place twice at Talladega. So just a very good season. I saw the pieces I needed to see from this kid for him to be competitive and already to be hanging out in the top 10 and having like a legit day, right? You can cherry pick anybody's stats like, oh, wow, look at this guy randomly got a good finish here or there because stuff happened. But his was actually running well throughout the races, getting to the end of the races. We saw it last year with Josh Berry, right? He kind of just pops up and wins at Las Vegas all of a sudden. That's Carson Hocevar this year, except it's not going to be as surprising as when Josh Berry did it, because he's already shown the pieces. We saw a lot of speed at the 1.5 mile, the 2 mile tracks, places like Michigan. He's going to be in competition to win some races. I think you're going to cash this one race 1 when he wins the Daytona 500. But if you don't, I think he'll get one throughout the season at some point, if not more than one.
Color me not excited to jump on a ticket for a guy finished 23rd in the standings with an average finish of 21.5 and a career average finish of 20.
It only takes one, Rob. It only takes one.
But he just, look, it's not even close. This guy is not going to win a race because he's just not going to get
close. Multiple times last year.
No, look, okay, fine. If I'll give him almost wins, then I'll give him over 2.5 almost wins. But I'm sorry, it's wins, and he has not won one yet, and I'm not excited to even back him for a win. this season. I don't care what the points format is. I know TK says Hocevar has a better shot of winning now that the big boys will be a little more safe and willing to sell. I don't think that's the case. I think
I do sort of disagree with that. I mean, I think I don't know. I think you won't see the crazy stuff, the Hail Melons of the world, which we're not going to see those anymore anyways. The Austin Dillon wrecks everybody on the last lap just to win a like. We're going to see that type of stuff, but I don't think we're just going to be settling for second place at any point just because, I mean, points days will matter more. Points days have always mattered depending on the situation, but I'm not shifting the way I'm looking at now betting the championship, which we will go back over, by the way. The week after the Clash, we'll have our final championship picks, do all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm not shifting how I view win totals, I guess, based on the new format, but Hocevar was winning either way.
All right, fine. So let's flip I think we spent way too much time on him already. Anyways,
I don't think we spent enough time on him, Rod. But
tune in to the 2026 season of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast if you want to hear more about Carson Hocevar. But let's move on to the next driver, lest we spend the entire hour talking about a guy I didn't want to spend 10 minutes talking about, and another guy I don't want to spend 10 minutes talking about, and that's Ty Gibbs. They just did it to me. They front loaded the episode.
Oh, this couldn't have worked out any better, could it, Rod?
They front loaded the episode to make it to where I can make it through without shaking my fist at the clouds. But Ty Gibbs, another one, set at a half of a win. The over is at plus 115. So they give Carson Hocevar a better shot at winning a race than they do Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs under set at minus 145. And like Carson Hocevar, if this was set at minus 445, I would still take the under on a Ty Gibbs win.
I'm all in on my guys this year, Rod. I think this is the year for Ty. It's funny, going into his rookie year, it was set at 1.5. Remember that, Rod. It's the same thing as Zillage. I'm telling you, people, we're going to look back, and I'm going to remind you all at the end of the season. It was the same thing. Everybody was so hyped too early. But it was set. I made so much money betting the under on Ty Gibbs at 1.5 race wins a couple of years ago. I'm just rolling that into him winning at some point now. And I'm still using the same funds. So it's great. But I am taking him to win a race. It's got to be this year, right? If he doesn't win a race this year, we got to start having hard conversations, I think, because he has all the talent in the world. We saw it in the Xfinity level. It was Xfinity at the time, right? We saw it at that level. And he's translated it to close-ish at this level. It's not, honestly, Carson Hocevar has probably been closer to winning a race than Ty has. There's been some situations where, super speedways or stuff, but it's got to come this year, right? And Bristol, I said that he was going to win one at Bristol last year, and he finished third there in the spring, and then 10th in the fall. But he led the fall races when he led 201 laps. Like, you really saw some chances, some opportunities. It didn't quite get there. We saw like a third place at Michigan, second place at Chicago Street Course, right? Where we saw him really go head to head at Mexico City with SVG before pit stuff kind of didn't work out for him. Maybe he snags one of the road courses, although I'm giving all 5 of those to SVG. But he's got to get it done this year, Rod. I'm not losing faith. I do think Ty has all the talent in the world, and he's in a great, like, that's the part we can't discount is with Hocevar, you could easily retort and be like, yeah, but it's a Spire car. And okay, well, you have a point, right? But this is a Gibbs car. Look at Denny Hamlin, how he finished the season. Look at Chase Briscoe, the season he had last year. Look at Christopher Bell winning 3 races to open up the year. Like, these are really, really good cars. So we just need to match that talent up and align the stars, and I think he'll find his way to victory lane. Yes, I'm betting with my heart on both of these, but I do think Hocevar and Gibbs both get their first wins this year.
My growing army of anti-Gibbs now. TK is with me now. Ty Gibbs is unlikely to win. Thank you, TK. And then Mustard Rob saying, give me that sweet Ty Gibbs under bet. I love each and every one of you. Keep coming. Keep coming. I want everybody on board on this one.
It's all right. You guys, it's fine. It's fine. We don't need you. If you're not on the bandwagon now, don't be on it when we don't win. When we win races later on this season, right?
I was never, ever, ever on no one can ever accuse me of being on the bandwagon. And listen, my closing thoughts on both of these guys, right? Yes, they have the talent that is required to do the things that we expect them to do as race car drivers, right? They should be able to win races. They should be, but for whatever reason, the whatever's going on up here has prevented them from doing. If they can, and I'm not above a good redemption story, right? I love me a good get right story. I'm never one to just keep kicking a person when they're, well, I'll kick a person when they're down, but when they get back up again, my boot stops swinging, right? Once you prove to me that I can stop kicking, right, I'll stop kicking. And so with both of these guys, if you prove to me this season, and they don't give a rat's ass about what I say, and that's fine. I don't care, right? But I'm paid to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it, whether or not they like what I say. Yeah, if you prove to me that I can stop kicking, I'll stop kicking. But until then, I got a big, heavy boot that's just going to continue to come down on it. So,
and yes, I am betting with my heart on both these guys. I do love both these guys, but also part of the reason I love them is because I've seen the talent, and I really do believe in both of these guys. If you did make me choose one, I would take Hocevar, honestly, if you're picking one, but you're getting both of them at plus money. Well, Carson's at even money, and Ty's at plus, 115. So at least the overs, you're getting the good side of it. So I am betting both of these, and I do truly believe in both these drivers this year.
And if you would have bet Carson Hocevar earlier in the week when we were talking about the win totals, you'd got him a little bit more. People have been hammering him down. Shame on you, all of you, for hammering him down, because
could have been a bet I placed. Plus, he was the headliner in the article I put out, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. So sometimes you just got to be ahead of the game.
Sometimes you do have to be ahead of the game. All right, we've got much more discussion on the other side of this break, but I would like to talk about our friends, our good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog is bringing the playoff magic all playoff long, every playoff weekend. Open the Underdog app to see what promos are waiting for you. Cody mentioned it earlier, his New England Patriots taking on the Denver Broncos at Denver, by the way. New England's got to travel, so they're going to be in some cold weather, but different kind of cold weather. How about Drake May? I am going to take his passing total, his passing projection, higher than 224.5. I have a feeling that Drake May is going to pretty much avenge his 179 passing yards that he took against that ridiculously tough Houston Texans defense. Now Denver's got their own tough defense, but I think Drake May is going to have to throw the ball all over the field in order to get it done. So give me the higher than 224.5 passing yards for Drake May and the New England Patriots. Absolutely love that one. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. Time to tell you about our friends over at Rhythm. Rhythm has crushed NFL this season, especially on props. Last season, they were even better in the playoffs. How about this? 6-1 on passing TD props. Yeah, that's a big one. How about 21-13 on rush attempt props? Got to love all of that. Super easy to sign up is Rhythm. Run predictions off the house model, or you can make your own and play with the sliders. Let's turn our attention to the NFC matchup. It's so gross. Seahawks taking on the Rams. Hate both of these teams with every fiber of my being. So when there's an under that presents itself, I'll take that. How about Sam Darnold? Under 235.5 passing yards. You could set this at under a half of a win for Carson Hocevar, and I'd still take the under on this one as well. Under 235.5 passing yards for Sam Darnold. They're giving you minus 114 on this one. Sam Darnold's been under 235.5 passing yards in his last 3 games. Dude just sucks. I don't care if he's winning. He just sucks. And the whole team needs to just shrivel up and die. Anyways, looking to go premium, use promo code SGPN25. When you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month, download Rhythm, use promo code SGPN25. I'm not bitter at all. Not bitter at all that the Seahawks absolutely dismantled my San Francisco 49ers. It was disgusting to watch, Cody. There was not enough alcohol in the world to wipe away everything that happened that day, but I'll get over it.
Yeah, I lost a lot of money on that one, Rod. I'm not gonna lie.
It's bad. It was terrible. Like, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, it was pretty rough. So hopefully, if the Rams don't avenge it for you, we will hopefully avenge that loss in the Super Bowl, Rod.
Please kick their ass. I'm more than willing to cheer for anybody that goes up against the Seahawks, except the Rams. I can't do that either. All right. Marcus,
I hope both teams lose this week.
I hope they have to go with a runner-up.
It's just an eternal tie. We're in like the 14th overtime period because somebody has to be declared a winner eventually.
Fine. Fine, send the Bears. Just tap the Bears on the shoulder and go, hey, look, they couldn't settle it. You go. It's fine by me. All right, let's talk about Marcus's favorite driver in the entire world, and that is Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, his over-under set at 3.5. The over at plus 115. The under at minus 145. We saw that big, huge run that Christopher Bell went on, winning back-to-back-to-back races earlier in the season between Atlanta, Austin, Phoenix, and then he picked up a win late in the year at Bristol, baby. But here's the thing. With everything that's happening and all the wins that were given out, is Christopher Bell in line to win 4 races again this year? I'm not seeing it.
I am seeing it. I like the over on this one, Rod. I think that we took some wins away from guys like Denny Hamlin. We took some wins away from guys like William Byron. Oh, yeah, I got to keep writing these down. Boy, thanks for reminding me. I forgot at least I got the paper here still, so I'll update the sheet here in a second when I'm done talking. But, no, I really like Christopher Bell this year to hit the over. He comes out last year swinging right out of the gate. Remember, he won race 2, 3, and 4 of the season after Byron picked up the 500 win, and he had 3 wins going into the 5th week of the series of the season, right? I don't know that he's going to do that again, but just the fact that you look at a guy like Christopher Bell too, and he can win anywhere. He can win on super speedways like he did at Atlanta. He can win on road courses like he did at Coda. He can win on short tracks like he did at Phoenix. He can also win on intermediates. He can win. He's one of those very versatile guys that not everybody in the field, you can say he can win at any track type and he can beat anyone anywhere. And he truly is that type of guy. I think we've kind of continued to see him come out of his shell from a couple of years ago on full speed when it was, they told us to focus in on the guys they thought would be at the end, and I wasn't one of those guys, huh? Imagine that, he said, right? We're not at that Christopher Bell anymore. He gets the respect he deserves, and that's why his win total is at 3.5. But I like the over on this. He got to 4 last year. Just getting back to 4, I think, is something he can definitely do because he's such a versatile guy, can win anywhere. You know how much I love those Gibbs Toyotas and how fast they are week in and week out. So I'm on the over on Christopher Bell.
My only reservation is that was the only year in which he's actually won 4 races. Before that, it was 3, 2, 3, 1, 0. Not a long track record.
You got to look at it the other way. Thank you. It was 0, 3, 2, 1. He's building up, and now he's just going to keep doing it.
I mean, he could win 4. I don't know. I guess the number's right to take that chance. Now, if this was like minus 110, if you're getting kind of even odds on him winning 4, it may not be as sexy. But if you're getting the plus money that you're getting, then maybe it's a little tempting, right? Because Christopher Bell plus 115 to get that 4th win again. But I don't know. Like I said, I just feel like it's tough because some of these other guys ahead of him, we may be slating in for 2 or 3 wins, and that could easily make it to where it's tough for Bell to pick up a 4th. And he's not going to win 3 in a row again next year. And that was sort of the big way to get him to 4th, because all he had to do is just kind of wait around and win one late in the season. So I don't know. It's tough. Obviously, with the under being juiced as much as it is, the only bet here really to make is the over, because if he burns you on the under.
Rod has once again disappeared. Chili's on the line again. They really were interested in trying to get him there for the live show. But Christopher Bell could easily win 4, says TK, but I almost feel like he'll be overshadowed by Briscoe this year. Briscoe certainly is going to continue to be on the up and up, right? But I think we're going to see that shift more of Briscoe and Bell being the lead dogs over at Gibbs, and I don't think it's going to be Denny as much, and that's going to put Bell in victory lane more often. Were you able to broker a deal with Chili's that quickly, Rod?
Tell you what, man, they are really persistent. They're trying their hardest to get me. I keep telling them I'm not done yet. If you want in and you want to talk, get in on the live chat, Chili's. We'll definitely put your thing up there. And now Cody's gone. Chili's trying to call Cody. They knew I was busy, so they needed to call Cody. So, all right, then let's put away Christopher Bell as Cody's trying to re-enter the stream. There you go, Cody.
That was weird. It didn't even kick me out of the studio. I could hear you the whole time. I was in the studio.
Yeah, me too. Same with me. Like I said, Chili's is really trying to hit us up, so we'll get there. We'll get there. All
right. Just real quickly, I'd like to correct JDK because he's trying to throw me under a bus here. I was going to say Last 2 years, Cody's bandwagon picks haven't done too well. Custer and Gibbs, Hocevar breaking the trend. First of all, much like Joey Logano, I'm an even year guy because the Custer thing was in 23. It did not go out well. 24 was Tyler Reddick and went pretty fucking good if you remember, JDK. Thank you very much. Last year was Gibbs. It didn't go so, but we're due for Hocevar to have a great year. So, yeah, Carson Hocevar has won 5 races.
What
officially, Rod?
What
are you? I know your advice would be to bet the over because of the number, but for the pick sheet, are you picking the under on Bell at 3.5?
Yeah, for the pick sheet, I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
Betting wise, yeah, you can.
It's one of those, where it doesn't make sense to bet it on the under. So again, probably one you want to leave alone if you like the under at -145. But I like the over at +115. That was actually one of the ones that made the best bets article for the sportsgamblingpodcast.com article.
Stick around later this week. We're going to talk about if you listen to us and you're like, well, what do you mean it doesn't make sense to bet? Then what do you mean it doesn't mean? What does that mean? If you think it's going to hit, why wouldn't you bet it? We're going to talk a little bit about all of that philosophy and strategy and everything later in the week.
That's tomorrow's show, I believe, Rod, is when we have that one scheduled for. So that's going to be it's going to be a really fun one. Something we probably should have done before we were in the 5th season of this, but better late than never, right?
It is better late than never. All right, let's shift gears and talk about Ryan Blaney. Another one of these set at 3.5. The over is at +120. The is at -150. This is tough because you're starting to enter the territory now where when you talk about Ryan Blaney, obviously Ryan Blaney had 4 wins last year as well. Another 4-race winner. And you know that Ryan Blaney in that Penske equipment is capable of winning 4 races pretty much every year of his life. However, a lot like Christopher Bell, last year was the first year that he won 4 races, believe it or not, right? Series champion, all that stuff. And still, this was the 4th year or the first year that he's only won more than 3 races in a year. It was 3 races in 2021, 3 in 2023, 3 in 2024, and then 4 last year. So if I'm staying intellectually consistent on my arguments here, then I will tell you that I am hard pressed to endorse Ryan Blaney to win 4 races again this year as well, because the track record's not there. And yeah, Ryan Blaney's in great equipment. Yeah, Ryan Blaney can win a ton of races, but Ryan Blaney, especially in this format coming up, doesn't need to win a lot of races to win the championship, right? It's just, that's the way it is. And I think he can capitalize on that this year.
Yeah. Well, I think the best thing to do is to put these two guys together, right? They're very similar boats, are very similar numbers. If you had these two guys and you had to pick one to win 4 races, it's easily Christopher Bell for me. He can win anywhere, any week, anytime. And Ryan can, yes, but road courses, you're probably not going to see him get a win. Yeah, he won the Roval one time. Great. He's not really going to compete for road course wins. And not that I'm counting those towards Christopher Bell, but it's a place where he really can win. Between the two of them, it comes down to who wins more short track races, because these are the 2 short flat guys, right? For the most part, Briscoe obviously in there as well. But these 2 guys especially, Blaney's win total probably relies heavily on him getting a super speedway or 2, because he's very good. He's probably the best driver on super speedways that we have. But again, being able to count that towards your wins, that makes it difficult, because Hocevar is going to win probably 2 of those. So there's only 4 left now, Rod. Sorry, I had to. I just can't help it. But it does make it harder. And if any given 1.5 mile or 2 mile track we go to, do you feel better about a Gibbs car or a Penske car? It's not that the Penske cars can't win. It's not that Ryan can't win, but the Gibbs cars are going to be fast and have speed. The Penske cars, we still just don't know that on a week-to-week basis, that they're going to show up and have great cars. Ryan's a great race car driver, yes. I just don't see him getting back to 4 wins. So while I do love the Bell over, I think maybe some of that comes from Blaney not getting back to 4, because I don't think he's going to get back to 4. Now, again, betting-wise, when it comes to the number, hard to just go lay the -150 for an 11-month bet that's not going to cash till November, right? So I'm not just going to go bet that. But officially, I would pick the under on Ryan Blaney here, because I getting back to 4 seems much more difficult for Ryan Blaney in the 12 car than it does for Christopher Bell in the 20 car, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm officially backing the under here as well. Obviously, plus 120 is a great tempting number to have it done, but I just a super speedway win last year, and you know how those go, right? He got a win in Nashville, he got a win at Daytona but he started on the pole too in the fall race at Daytona. Picked up a win at Loudon, picked up a win at Phoenix, and obviously, that win at Phoenix it wasn't exactly what it needed to be, right? He won, sure, but he wasn't in the championship, so that win was kind of hollow. But yeah, I'm officially endorsing the under. But yeah, I don't know. If it's up to you. It's up to you how comfortable you feel betting minus 150 for 11 months and waiting for that investment to cash.
Yeah, and I believe let me see here. Will Caesars allow us to parlay these? It sure will. So, like that's the thing is part of this. Oh, sure, yeah, you picked the minus 150 part of things. Well, that's just like we're not going to come on here and lie to you, right? But if you are creating a big parlay of these, okay, we like the under. So when you're building your parlay and you're including this, take Christopher Bell over, or if you agree with Rod, take the under, and we're both on the underside for Ryan Blaney. So that's a way to build it in there, right? And that's a more realistic way to bet these, while your money's sitting there for the next 11 months.
Indeed. All right, let's talk about Ross Chastain. His total is set at 1.5 wins. The over at plus 145. The under at minus 175. I wonder, Cody, what the odds would have been like if we set this at a half of a win, because I feel like 1.5 is not tempting enough given that the last couple seasons.
I think 1.5 is a good number because I think you have to count him for a win. I think you just pencil him in for a win probably every year.
Well, he's won every year since 2022.
Yeah,
and
that's why you pencil him in for a win.
Exactly.
So that's where 1.5 I think is the right thing, because okay, he's going to win one, but is he going to win two? And that becomes the question.
Okay, fine. You win this case, but then really, honestly, now the question is, do you think he's going to win a second race? He hasn't done it since 2023.
That's where the question gets tough, Rod, because I don't know. Is he going to get a second win? This, I think, is one of the more interesting ones on the board, and one of the ones I'm more torn on. That I like a lot of these. I have a preset, like, yeah, over, under. I like this guy. I don't like this guy. Chastain is one I don't know, because he's a guy that is capable of winning a lot of places, right? Does Trackhouse bring a car that can win every week? No. But you pencil him in because he's going to get a win. His wins have been at different places like Coda, places like Dega, places like the Coke 600 last year. Is he going to get that second win, though? I don't know. I don't know that I'm sold on him getting to a second win. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Rod?
Well, to me, when you look at his overall body of work, right, in that 2022 season, he had 15 top fives, 21 top tens. Of course, he was going to probably break through for a second win in that year. The following year in 2023, 10 top fives, 14 top tens, a little drop off, but still picked up that second win. In the last couple of seasons, it's been 6 top fives, 4 top fives, 14 top tens, and 12 top tens. The opportunities for Ross Chastain have not been there like they were in those first couple of seasons where he racked up a couple of wins in those. So really, ultimately, the question becomes not can he do it, but will he be put in the right position? Obviously, Daniel Suarez will not be alongside of him this year. How much of a loss is that in the 99 car in that team? Obviously, we know that with SVG in there now and Connor Zilic in there now, it sort of brings a little bit of a youth movement, but that's not, I don't know that shifts any of the attention, any of the main attention over to Ross Chastain, or if it diminishes that and takes away his opportunity to maybe pick up that second win. Because you're right, Cody, he's going to come out, he's going to win a race. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't know when it's going to be, but he'll win a race. The question is, though, can he do it again? And I don't know that can happen.
Yeah, I agree. And as JDK points out, new crew chief, he does. Brandon McSwain is coming over after Phil Surgeon is moving on from the team. So there is that. A lot of people might tell you that Zilic coming in to replace Suarez. Is Chastain suddenly the third guy on the team with SVG and Zilic there? Not yet, I don't think. But I think that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I do think you pencil him in for one. He's definitely a guy that could win two, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins two. But I don't think I can bet the over on this one. Again, numbers wise, if you gun to my head, you got to bet one now. It's probably the over just because the you're getting the plus side of things. But I think the books have it right where it's less likely he wins one. So I will officially go with the under on this one.
Yeah, minus 175 though. That's a huge thing on this one. But again, this is another one. You're winning it until you don't, right? And that's what, if he does win one race, then you're still kind of holding your breath and hoping for that second win not to come. If you take that side of it. All right, let's continue down the road. Kyle Larson, the reigning Cup Series champion. His win total is set at 4.5, although the books not convinced that he is going to pick up a 5th win on the year. And this one's a little confusing to me, Cody, in that, right, it's 3.5. You set the over, 4.5. You set the over at plus 150. But Kyle Larson only won 3 races last year. Can he come out and win a ton of races? Yes, but.
Yeah, he can, because he only won 3 races last year and he was shook for half the year. Like, he was just not the same Kyle Larson we're used to after Indy. I don't think he did not win any. I know he didn't win any races after Indianapolis, which was fairly far back in the season, right? So that's so uncharacteristic for Kyle Larson to go that long without winning races. Look, we poked a lot of fun at him. We had a lot of fun with the Captain Shook thing last year. And really, it was true. Yeah, he's and still, Rod, despite all of that, he wins the championship, not winning a race after Indy. Not, like, he still is good enough to win the championship. This is an easy over for me. You're getting plus 150. We're going to look back on this and say, oh, wow, remember that year Max Verstappen's win total was set at 17 and he won 23? Like, it wasn't even close, right? But that's what this is going to be like to me. Kyle Larson is the best race car driver in the world. I still fully, truly believe that. And yes, we saw things struggle down the stretch for him, which is so uncharacteristic. The fact that you think that would continue through the entire next year, I just don't see that happening. He's in the prime of his life. He's in the prime of his career right now. He's a great race car driver on one of, if not the best team in the garage. He's coming back to defend the championship. He still got to 3 wins in the first half of last season. He's going to win 5, 6, 7 races this year. And I don't like, I have no problem easily taking the over on this, because I think Kyle Larson is that good of a race car driver. And he got 3 despite all the struggles and everything they went through in the second half of that season. Still managed to win the championship, by the way. He's going to win 4 or 5 races, I guess, this season to hit the over on this one.
I don't know if I laid out the odds. Over plus 150, under minus 180. So there's a very, very heavy juice on the under.
Yeah, like if you change this number around, like if it's minus 110 to go over, I still think I would go over. I'd be a little less inclined to hit it, but plus 145. That's a great number for you're getting the most talented race car driver. Him and Max Verstappen, 1A, 1B. Rod apparently disagrees. He once again has left the left the chat. But you're getting the best, if not one of the best, race car drivers in the world. And I think you just have to ride with that, right? And maybe it's steamed down a little bit here because he is coming off of a lackluster second half of the season. That's just, for that to happen again, an entire season, so unlikely. I just don't see it happening. So give me the over on Larson at 4.5.
I'll close the book by saying this. He's only done it twice in his career. Yeah, that gigantic 10-win season a few years back, and then he had 6 wins a couple of seasons ago as well. So the thing is the books are counting on him to probably win 4. And I'm with you. So here's the thing. Here's my final piece of advice on Kyle Larson. I would say that you don't want to get burned on the over. And plus, the fact that the over is at plus 150 makes this a very enticing bet. The books knew what they were doing by giving you plus 150 on the over to get a 5th win this season. So you take that, but I feel like you're only doing it because you don't want to get burned in case he does win 5 races. I still think that the under is in play here, but not at minus 180. And if you want to bet something and have fun cheering it on all season long, this is probably the one to go. So officially mark me down as the under, but I would say if you would like to bet the over to have something to cheer for, I couldn't hate you for that either.
Yeah, and something that could go either way. But JDK pointing out Chevy had the body change this year. They didn't do it to make the car worse. I think that's a good point, right? We don't know what we're going to get. And you can simulate something a billion times. And when you actually put it into practice, it just may not work the same way as you thought it would. Chevy guys are pretty smart. There's a good chance that car is going to be pretty decent this year. It's going to be a little better. Again, you take away a win from Blaney, you can give that to Larson. You take away a win from Byron, you give that to Larson. And suddenly we've swung back from 3 to 5, and we're back in the win column here. So I like the over on Larson.
Well, something or another driver that the Chevy change could bode well for, and that's Kyle Busch, looking for his first win in a couple of seasons. The streak obviously broke a while back. Rowdy Nation checking in, wasn't able to catch it live, but hammer the KB over. Okay, bye. Good night, fellas. We made the cover. Yes, Cody did put the Kyle Busch face on the cover.
I did.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, that was rough. That he had to watch his win streak or his winning season streak get crushed a couple seasons ago. Really didn't find his footing over the last couple seasons. In fact, look, over the last 2 seasons, he had as many top 10 finishes as he had in just one season of 2020. So, and only 8 top 5 finishes in that span as well. His total set at a half of a win. The over is at plus 160. The under is at minus 190. Cody, I know you are high on Rowdy getting a win this year.
I still believe in him. Look, Kyle Busch is one of the most talented race car drivers we've ever seen, and his accomplishments in NASCAR are crazy. It's been a rough couple of seasons, yes, but you go back and you look. He comes to RCR. He wins 3 races in the first year with RCR. Then he comes back the next year, and he's literal inches away in that 3-wide finish at Atlanta from picking up a win there. He goes to Kansas in the fall, and he's leading with 14 laps to go or something, gets up behind Briscoe, gets the air taken off the nose, spins out, it costs him. There's been multiple situations over the last 2 years, that year in 24 and also in 25 last year, where he had opportunities to get there and just couldn't close, couldn't quite get to the end. But you look at RCR's ability to give Austin Dillon a winning car at Richmond 2 years in a row. They're going to be able to find something somewhere for KB. Another crew chief change. I think this is going to be a positive one, right? He needed to switch up, and you're getting, again, this is a talent. I guess I'm just going to be heavy on talent in this show. Hocevar, Gibbs, Larson, Busch, talent, nothing but talent in all these drivers, Rod. And I just don't think you're going to hold him down forever. Yeah, he's getting closer to the age, but he's not even a Denny Hamlin's age yet. It's not like it can't still be done. It's not. I don't think what we've seen out of him has just been always losing the arm strength and he can't throw the ball anymore. I don't feel like we're at that point yet. I just feel like maybe the cars let him down. Maybe they need to change some stuff. There's still some life there, and I'm still a KB believer. If we don't find victory lane this year, maybe we've seen him in victory lane for the final time. We'll have to have that conversation, but I think we're going to see him get back to victory lane this year. So I'm a KB believer, and again, numbers-wise, you're getting a pretty good number to go with the over, so I will take it.
Yeah, like I said, the over plus 160, the under 190. I will give Kyle Busch a win this year. There is something to be said.
We did it, Rowdy. We talked Rod into it.
No.
All right, have a good night, folks. We'll see you later.
Everybody make gambling fun again, and we'll see you next time. No, look, I'm a believer in you can't keep some of these guys down all the time. And you're right, he's not old, right? He's not a geriatric driver. He's not a guy that's in the twilight of his career. There's still a lot of talent left in Kyle Busch. There's still a lot of youth left in Kyle Busch in the sport. Because look, driving is not going and getting hit by a 300-pound linebacker week after week after week. Now, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
It is if you wreck too hard, but
I was going to say I've heard the G-forces can get a little bit taxing at times. But again, the toll on your body is not nearly that much. And yet, here's the thing about Kyle, right? It's been a couple seasons. If there's one driver out there that I firmly believe has been banging the doors on every single person that will listen, it's Kyle Busch. He is probably frustrated that he hasn't been in victory lane in a while. He probably doesn't find that acceptable at all. And if he's not making noise in that garage, I'm surprised. So I feel like this is going to be one of the seasons where they're going to give Rowdy everything they've got. And he's a free agent at the end of the season.
Contract
right?
year, Rob.
Contract year. So we'll give that narrative as well to Kyle Busch. Give him a win at plus 160. All right. Tyler Reddick next on the list. His win total is set at 2.5. The over plus 165. The under at 2.5. We all know Cody's regular season champion Tyler Reddick had no wins last year. It was a kind of a down year for him, only 7 top 5 finishes, 14 top 10 finishes. So the question is, Cody, can he get back in victory lane, and can he do it 2 more times after that?
We're back, baby. I think I have faith in Tyler Reddick to get back there. Look, 2024 showed us we called our shot with him that year. We went all in. He goes out, he wins the regular season championship, he wins races, he makes the Final Four, almost gets the championship, right? We were close, we just didn't quite get it. But that's what we saw, what we can get out of Tyler Reddick. Last year was a tough year, and the lawsuit was going on. His wife was pregnant, then the baby has the issues, stuff like that, right? Distractions, other things going on, life happening, right? We know how that is. But hopefully, with things resetting and getting back to regular, they win the lawsuit, they got the charters. Maybe he was talking, right? I got to talk to this team or that team. What's the future look like? All that stuff that could have been going on. Now it's done. It's set. It's secure. He's fine. He's good to go. Go deliver Michael some trophies. Tyler Reddick is too talented to hold down. He gets back to 3 wins. And the fact that you're getting to set a big number, love that for Tyler. So I'm easily on the over here, 2.5 for Tyler Reddick.
For those of you who pay attention to such things, Tyler Reddick, 2022, 3 wins. Tyler Reddick in 2023, 2 wins. Tyler Reddick in 2024, 3 wins. Tyler Reddick in 2025, 0 wins.
We got a pattern, Rod. We got a pattern.
Even year Tyler Reddick to get 3 wins again. I'm going to go ahead and ride that momentum. So give me Tyler Reddick. Yeah, I'll take the over on that one, plus 165. I think you're right. I think all those distractions and all of the things that were kind of taking him out of the game. And look, let's just face it, right? I mean, Trackhouse, here I go again. 2311 was just not making noise outside of Bubba Wallace every once in a while, but they just really weren't.
And I think, they had a down year in general, which you could probably attribute to the expansion of the team, right? We saw that with RFK too, sort of a down year. They expanded the 3rd team. So the 2nd year of the 3rd team is probably going to be better for the team, but you still saw positives, right? They found some stuff in the 23 car that worked out. They can translate that into the 45 car. I think that's going to work out well. CD checking in just wants to let us know that Ryan Preece sucks, Rod. So good to know.
I was going to say, we have
no win totals available for Mr. Preece. Maybe because he sucks.
I was going to say, I don't know that you would even take a half. That juice would be so much that you would have to squeeze every orange in the vineyard to get that done.
That'd be a big under.
In the orchard? What are oranges? Oranges are grown on orchards or
They're
apple?
grown in trees, so
orchard?
I would imagine that's an orchard. Okay. I guess. It would be an orange grove, right? I think they're called groves.
There you go, orange grove. That's it. A flocking geese again.
We'll figure it out eventually. We're answering all the big questions today.
All right. Speaking of even year, Joey Logano. Joseph Logano, 2.5 wins is his win total. The over set at plus 165. The under set at minus 200 for even year Joey Logano to pull out his even year magic. If we're going, listen, let's go back all the way to 2018. 2018, 3 wins. Actually, let's go to 2016. Let's go to 2014. 2014, 5 wins. 2016, 3 wins. 2018, 3 wins. 2020, 3 wins. 2022, 4 wins. 2024, 4 wins. Is even your Joey Logano a thing again?
How do you? I don't want to do it, but how do you not?
You have to.
You have said 2014. Every even year since 2014, he's gone over this. I want to pick the under, but that's a lot of even years in a row, and it's stupid. That's the dumbest handicap ever. But you did it 2 years ago. You said we got to bet on to win the championship this year because it's even year, and he goes out and wins the fucking championship, even though half the races he's driving with Cody Ware in the back all day. It's stupid, but it makes too much sense. How do you avoid a trend like this, Rod?
They don't all have to be scientific, Cody.
That's the answer. It's even your Joey Logano. He bit the bullet, shaved his head. I don't know if you saw Chase Briscoe, also Mr. Clean now. So good for them. It's a trend. You have to ride the trend. Give me the over.
There's just no look. I'm telling you right now. You can come at me 9 ways to Sunday on how unscientific and how ridiculous it is to handicap something like that. But honestly,
that's not a good reason to bet on it, but it is because it just keeps happening. There might not be a scientific reason for it happening, but it keeps happening. So until it doesn't happen, and Logano's one of those ones where if it doesn't cash, I'm not going to be upset because we understand what betting on Joey Logano is. He's the hardest driver in the garage to figure out. But if you bet the under and you pick the under and he goes out and wins 3 races and you go, well, you did it in 14 and 16 and 18 and God damn it. Why did you got to do it? You just got to roll with it, Rod. We don't.
I was gonna say this is a lot like the Ross Chastain bet where you go ahead and bet the over because or even the Kyle Larson bet, I guess if he burns you on the under, then whatever. But if he burns you on the over, you're gonna be pissed that you didn't go on the over on this one as well, especially a plus 165. So, all right, Joey Logano, even year magic plus 160. And here's the thing: if I were to walk out of the house and someone were to punch me in the face every Tuesday, you think that the next Tuesday I'd like 5 times in a row if I walked out on Tuesday and somebody just was waiting at my door to punch me in the face. No other day, but on Tuesday. You think the 8th Tuesday in a row I'm staying in?
And why Tuesday? Like why is he not punching you on Friday?
That's
Tuesday's
what I'm saying.
Even years of the day, you got to go with it.
That's my scientific method on that one. All right, we talked about Joey Logano a little bit longer because the next guy is Austin Dillon.
Save the best for last, Rod.
We saved the best for last. His win total set at a half of a win. The over at plus 180. The minus at a whopping minus 220. We talked about his teammate. Is this an Austin Dillon 1-win season like last year's was? He just randomly pops up and wins one, Cody.
So, yeah, this is an under. Like, you're not just going to go bet at a minus 220 again. If you're filling out a parlay, I would put the under in on this. Dillon is one of those weird ones where he's just capable of winning, right? He's won the Coke 600. He's won at Texas. He's won at Richmond 2 years in a row. Like, is that going to happen 3 years? I'm not going to say no way, but it's not going to happen 3 years in a row. He's won the Daytona 500. Like, he can just go out and win anywhere for the most part, right? Or a lot of places. And it's like an Alex Bowman where it's random and you almost don't know when it's going to come other than Richmond the last couple of years. But I just don't think again, some of these guys were getting wins, like Ty Gibbs gets a win and Dillon doesn't. Hocevar gets a win, Dillon doesn't. Like, trade his wins that he's been getting for some other guys, which I've done at least with Cindric. I did that. Like, he's been getting some wins. We took those away, give them to other guys. I'm taking his win away this year. Don't just go bet it outright at minus 220. It's going to hurt if he does win one because he's capable of it, but I think the under's the play.
I mean, he's only got 6 career wins in a 15-year career. Like, and in those,
it's a lot of unders.
It's a lot of unders. And not only that, but I mean, if you think about it this way, the wins that he's had has represented his only top 5 finishes that year. 5 top 10 finishes last year, 5 the year before that, 7 the year before that. A big year in 2022 where he got 11, but there's not been a lot of consistent front running for Austin Dillon. Last year, his average finish was 20.1. His career average finish is 18. So, I mean, again, if you think that he is going to pop up and win a race, then the over is for you. But I'm just not necessarily sold that this is a year in which he's going to win one because, just like Cody said, man, we're giving some other random people some wins this year. So I feel like, yeah, Austin Dillon may not be the one that we're giving it to. So I'll take the under officially on it. But again, at minus 200, if you're laying $200 to win 100, that's an investment I don't know that you want to make, especially if he does come up and win one on accident.
Absolutely. How much time do we have, Rod, before you got to get out of here?
I've got a good solid 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So real quickly, you handed out a total of 23 wins for the 36 races. Just if you look at the overs, right? That doesn't account for some unders. So that gives you 13 wins to fill in between guys that you went under on, like Alex Bowman or Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric, William Byron. Maybe he grabs a couple, right? You went under on Hocevar, Gibbs. We know they're going to get their wins. You went under on Bell and Blaney. Wow, you're just negative Nancy this year, Rod.
Hell
you went under on Chastain. You went under on Larson. So Larson obviously 4.5. So if he gets 4 wins, then you're up to 27 now. So that could fill out your gaps there. I gave out 28 wins, so not as much room. I got 8 races still though for some other guys to get their wins, right? So I went under on Bowman. I went under on Elliott. I went under on Hamlin, so if Hamlin gets 3 wins, that gives room for that. I went under on Cindric, went under on Byron, went under on Blaney. He's probably going to get a couple. So under on Austin Dillon. I feel like we did a pretty good job of balancing it out. We're taking our guys we believe are going to win some races, and leaves room for the other guys, even the guys we went under on. Yes, you took the under on Kyle Larson, but he's going to get to victory lane, right? So he's going to fill in. So he can get up to 4 wins and still hit the under, but fill in the rest of those wins. So we didn't chart this out and pick our guys. We just did it off the cuff as we went along, but I think we did a pretty decent job.
We didn't give out more wins than there were to give out. That, my friend, is the goal of every season, to not go over the win total.
Yeah, because if you hand out more wins, then it's like, oh boy. First of all, not possible, and second of all, nobody else can win. So, and that allows for a Stenhouse to pick up a super speedway win or whatever random other stuff happens. Obviously, there's more drivers in the field. When Corey LaJoie wins the Daytona 500, that wouldn't have counted towards these win totals. So,
it also clears the way for guys that go over by a couple, right? At least one or two over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, SVG, we took him over 3.5, but we think he might win 5. So there's another win there, and so we're getting the hang of this, Rob.
I'd say after 5 seasons, we've finally figured out how to do this. So thank God for everybody out there that you've got a fully educated couple of hosts in the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Right. But there it is, Cody. That is the win totals. I think that's really the last of the off-season content that we have to go over, other than the next couple of episodes. That until we can start race picking, man. What?
Next week. It's here. It's here. A lot of fun stuff coming up, obviously. So tomorrow we'll be back. We're going to just get into how to bet on NASCAR betting for dummies type of thing, bring it back to the basics, right? And kind of go through stuff, why things are set certain ways, and walk through all that. It's going to be fun. A good way to explore, learn. We're still learning as we go, right? So that's going to be a really fun episode and a lot of fun. Next week, Clash picks coming up. We'll have Super Bowl, Daytona 500 crossover stuff. We'll pick our final futures bets, champions, all that fun stuff. There's still a ton of good stuff next couple of weeks. And next week we'll have pick show for the Clash, DFS for the Clash. Racing is back, and it is beautiful.
Hitting our stride at the beginning of the season. Cannot wait for all of the good stuff to come. So in the meantime, then, Cody, as we send everybody off to get ready for and make sure when you come tomorrow, bring your notebooks. I want a full class participation. I want everybody to get in on this, because this is going to be a lot of fun. Just an overall discussion about the ways and the whys and the why you have tos and why you should. So, all right. Well then, Cody, everybody sleep well. You get ready for class tomorrow. And in the meantime, let everyone know where they can find you outside of this space.
Yeah, make sure you head over to our YouTube, subscribe over there, NASCAR Gambling Podcast. We've already got some of the future shows up and scheduled. The Daytona 500 show is scheduled. You can click the like on that, hit the little bell. That'll help you notified when it's live. Helps us with the algorithms and stuff, push to other people. So it's a win-win for everybody. We appreciate it. And follow me on the X at Husker_Zeeb. Find all my stuff over there. And best of luck to everybody on these win total futures. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Indeed. Hopefully you build a nice portfolio. And of course, you can keep track of all of your futures bets over on AVO. So go to AVO and hit that promo code that we gave you earlier in the episode. Start tracking those bets as you get into the season. All right. That's enough of a sponsor plug. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. It's a little bit quiet now that the Niners are out of the playoffs, but I promise I'll still get louder as the season progresses, and you can catch everything I'm up to over there. All right. We'll catch you next time. We'll talk about that, Andrew. Definitely the free bets on NASCAR. That's something we'll talk about. But all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow with that show. And until then, everybody, let's make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.